Hi everybody, this is Diana from Sweetie Salado, and today we're going to make lechona, which is a very special dish that we make in Colombia during the holidays, and that's a home-style stuffed pig. But today we're not going to use a whole pig for this recipe. We're only going to use the skin to make a smaller version and to make it home-style. As always, the link for this recipe is going to be available at the end of the video, and it's also in the info box below. The first step is to make our marinade, and for that we're going to need some green onion. We're also going to add some white onion, some cumin, some food coloring like sazon Goya or triquizar or whatever you have on hand, and then we're going to season it well with salt and pepper. Then we're going to blend this really well to make a paste, and if it's too thick for you, you can go ahead and add a couple of tablespoons of water. For the filling, you can use whatever kind of pork meat that you want. What they do in Colombia is actually take out all of the meat from the pig and then stuff it back in with the marinated meat. And in here, I'm using some sirloin, and I'm also using some boneless ribs. We're going to put this meat in a resealable bag, and then we're going to add the marinade. Then we're just going to massage it really well to make sure everything's well coated. And then we're going to close it, making sure that there's no air inside the bag. And now we're just going to refrigerate this overnight. Now, since we're not using a whole pig to make this recipe, we're actually going to use the skin. I went to my butcher and I got 2 pounds of it, and if you get meat on it, that's even better. And now we're going to cover it really well with salt on the underside, and that's going to make the skin nice and crispy. And when you get your skin from your butcher, make sure you smell it really well before you buy it, because a lot of times they will sell you skin that is old and that is stinky, and that will ruin your recipe. And even if it's clean, once you get home, make sure you rinse it really well with water before you use it. Trust me, I'm talking from experience here. Okay, so once we salt our skin, we're just going to set it aside. So now we're going to make our guiso, or our seasoning, and for that we're going to need some lard. I know a lot of you will probably say you don't want to use it, but this is what gives it a really, really nice flavor. We're just going to melt it in a large pan on medium heat. And then we're going to add some chopped green onion. We're also going to add some garlic. Then we add some ground cumin. And some food coloring as well. And then we're going to add white rice. This is just your regular white rice that I made the night before with a little bit of color. And if you need to learn how to make some white rice, you can click on the rice right now, and that'll take you to the video where I show you how to make it. Then we're going to give it a stir to make sure that it's covered with our guiso or seasoning. And then we season with salt and pepper to taste. Before we assemble our lechona, we're going to cover the roasting pan with some aluminum foil. Then we put the skin on top with the underside facing up. And if you want, you can baste the underside with some sour orange juice. And if you don't have sour orange juice, you can make it by mixing some oranges with lime juice. To assemble our lechona, we're going to start with a layer of the rice. Now we're going to place our marinated meat on top of the rice. Then we're going to add a layer of green peas. These are cooked. In Colombia, they actually use yellow cooked peas. So if you have them, go ahead and use them because they're a lot better for this recipe. I couldn't find them, so that's why I'm using green peas. Then we put another layer of marinated meat on top of the peas. And then finally, we cover it with another layer of the rice. Now we just fold in the skin. And at this point, a lot of people like to use needle and thread to sew it up, but I'm just going to leave it nice and easy and just fold the skin over the rice. Then on top of that, we're going to put a little bit of that sour orange juice to make it crispier again. We put the other side of the skin on top. And then we're just going to use a few pins to pin it down. And then again, we baste it with that sour orange juice. Then we're going to bake it at 400 degrees for about 4 to 5 hours, or until the skin is nice and crispy and golden brown, but keep an eye on it so that it doesn't burn. And then to serve it, we serve it with the rice, a few pieces of pork skin, some Colombian arepas, and a couple of lime wedges. And that's your recipe for making lechona. If you enjoyed this video and this recipe, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of my future recipes. And don't forget that you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Google+. Thanks everybody for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye, and buen provecho.